Hi, Philip. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
mm,
cool. How are you? All good?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah,
Thank you
good.
for
Thank you.
joining.
No, all good. Thank you.
Hey everyone, good morning, good evening. Till the time others will join, if you have any feedback, suggestions, or anything you wanted to share, feel free to unmute yourselves and you can start. We'll just give a couple of minutes for the other participant to join, then we'll start. Hi everyone. We'll start in another 2 minutes. Okay, I think we are on time, so let's get started. Thank you all for joining the sessions. This is fourth sessions out of our Jira admin series. We are trying to keep this energetic. We are trying to solve or take all your queries or questions during the session itself. But if you feel if you have any questions or feedback or suggestions, you can always reach out to us. We keep sharing speakers as well as host LinkedIn as well as you have the email ID of the host as well. So whenever you have any questions or queries, always reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer your queries. Now, before I will start, the announcement for today is those who attended the sessions, or if you have missed already, we have already doing this recording, and this recording will be shared on the same page link or same event link. So if in case you have missed any of those recordings, feel free to refer it if you wanted to learn from those. Along with that, there is an interesting thought. Today we are trying to give gift voucher based on the post. So feel free to post as much as possible on LinkedIn and tag and share the image. So we'll try to select top three participants interactive post or engaging post, and will send out the gift vouchers, uh, which you can use it for purchasing any of those products, or maybe you can redeem it through virtual accounts. So that's the announcement. Make sure to post about this event, and if those events, tag us as well. If those events are little interactive or engaging on social media, we'll try to send out the gift vouchers to you. Perfect. Now, please confirm if you're able to see my screen. I'm sharing, and then we'll start for today's sessions. Hope this is visible to you. Anyone? Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Praveen, for confirming. Now, as I already mentioned, this is a part of Jira Administration Series 4 sessions. This is hosted by the Mumbai chapter. Thanks to the Pune chapter as well, where they have helped us a lot to drive this sessions uh, from beginning. We have also invited couple of Pune chapter speakers as well. They have delivered the very good sessions in last session as well. Now, during this series, we plan to cover basics like boards, project configurations, permission scheme, projects configuration, security permissions, API. Because of some technical glitch, we have postponed to the last. Now, in this sessions, we'll try to cover about workflows, how we can create it, configure it, which all permission schemes we can provide. Along with that, we'll also discuss couple of more concepts at the end, or 6 days we have planned, or 6 sessions we have planned for the rovo, along with some examples. Now, this is the WhatsApp group of Mumbai community, free to scan, and if you wanted to join it, there is a no spamming there. Normally we try to keep this as for the event purpose or for the technical questions. Myself, Deepak Rai, I'm leading Mumbai chapter, and along with these community activities, I'm working in Boundarless as a test automations practice lead. Along with that, I do have my YouTube channel where I used to create content and publish it on social media. So I'm running two channels separately, one for the Rai Gurukul, another one with RP Hub. Both the channels are related to technical aspects. Those who wanted to learn from project management, software testing, any other topics, they can refer to the Rai Gurukul channel. And if anyone wants to learn about AI, ML, or RPA concepts, they can always refer to RP Hub. I'm also one of the UiPath MVP from last 5 years, and having around 15 years of experience into the IT industry. That's about me. Now, to start with this, I just wanted to understand the questions I wanted to take from you. Just trying to understand how complex workflows you have seen, which all stages are there. Maybe tentative counts you can add in the comment box. Just wanted to understand how much complex your workflow was, how many stages are there, I mean the states. Let me see from anyone. No. 15 from Ankur. Thank you. Oh, thank you, chat. Cool. Now, let's try to understand first of all what is workflow 30 plus. Interesting. It's too massive. Okay. Now, going back to the PPT. So this is one of the workflows which I copied from the social media or from the Google pages, where you can see this is the state, this is the transitions. When we are talking about the purpose of the workflow, let's understand first what is workflows or Jira workflows, why we are using. So in terms of workflow, it's defining the life cycle of work items or issues or from the creation to its completions. It consists of series of status which might be to do, in progress, done. This also has the transitions. These arrows are called as transitions from one state to the other, which connects them, representing the steps our team takes to complete tasks. Workflows can be customizable, and you'll have complete control about your workflow throughout the projects. So Jira is giving you a privilege where you can customize your workflow specific to your project requirement. It helps you to increase the transparency, accountability, and efficiency within the team. So in Jira, the path your work item takes from the creations to completion is called as workflow in a layman term. Each workflow is composed of set of status transitions that your work item moves through during its life cycle and typically represents work processes within your organizations. Now, this is one of the workflow which is simple one. Consider your team is trying to create an issues. So, and your organization has been decided to open a workflow. Then it moves to the two states. As of now, you can see there are two states. Open, it moves to the resolve if all those issues are solved. Otherwise, it will move to the in progress.
Sorry to interrupt you, Deepak.
Yes.
Can you focus on the slide that you were explaining? Because I see a lot of tiny windows. I don't know if it is only for me or everybody. Can you please focus on the slide in case if you are
Is it?
referring to, if you're referring anything?
Okay, let me share my screen again.
Probably entire screen might help. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I presented in that screen only. Sorry. Now, is it visible?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay. Hey, sorry for the inconvenience. So I was presenting this one. Okay, let me go back. So if you can see this slide, it contains the workflows, which is starting from the creation of issues. So its starting point is this, where the state is open, where you can see two navigations, one from open to resolved, other one is from open to in progress, which again moves to the resolve state if there is a no in between state. This is a simple one where you can see a lot of navigation. These are called as transitions, and these are the states. Today we are going to see how we can create the workflow, attach with your Jira work item types, as well as we can activate to the screens in the Jira itself. Let me go to a Jira instance. Sorry. Here you will see what all workflows which is attached with your project itself. If you wanted to create a workflow, click on create new, define the name of the workflow. You can even edit existing workflow as well. As of now, I wanted to create it from scratch. And for doing this, you to have admin permissions. Without that, you won't be able to do it. Provide the meaningful name and then click on create. So this is the new window. It's starting from this. So here you can see this is the editor interface where you will have the options. This is by default options. If you want, even you can delete it and start with the new category. That is also totally fine. Now here I will remove this entire state, or maybe instead of open, so these are the existing states which is available here. If you want, you can even add new states which you will prefer. As of now, I wanted to add maybe to do, or maybe new. We'll try to search from here. If the state is not present, we can create a new states which is new. Here it is in the to do. We'll add new, and we'll try to map this arrow from start to new. Taking an example from, let me delete this. Consider we wanted to create a workflow which consists of issue creation, where I wanted to keep the status like first it always have new from starting point, then we can navigate it to the in progress, where we can move this bucket into any actionable movement, and after that we'll try to keep it in development. So this is my third state, and after that, if this is fixed, it they will mark as resolved. Post that, it will move into the QA, which might return into the development if there is any issue occurs. If everything goes well, then we are moving into the UAT, and finally we are closing this. So I wanted to create the structure as well as we'll activate it. So here we have new. After that, I wanted to create in progress and in development. So I might have this status, existing status available in progress. We'll select this, add. Here I will add this. So new is my state and in progress is the state where we can give the transitions. Name, work started. I will just add any random name. After that, I wanted to add in development. So here, these are the transitions which is flowing from one state to another state. We'll add in development. Let me search if we already have this. After this, we have assigned into the resolve QA, UAT, and close. Again, search for the status. QA started. Post this, if this fails, right? Then we will return back to the in development state again. So fail, QA fail, I will mark as QA fail. After this, if QA is passed, then we'll move into the UAT. So here we'll add the status as UAT. QA pass status. Now, if UAT fails, then again it will move into the in development as well. So here we'll add as UAT fail. And after UAT, either we can move into the uh, in close status. There might be other states as well. We can add it depending on the process to process, project to project, and then we will have here uh, staging or pre-prod, or we can add it to productions. But as of now, let's add it to close status just to keep it simple. Now, this is my workflow created. After that, we'll update the workflow. Here you'll see this is the entire workflow generated. Along with that, here you can add rules if you want. Even if you remember in first sessions, we have covered, or Aradna has covered, about the transitions until approval, restricting based on the status of subtasks, restricting from all users, validating this, performing actions. These all we have already covered. If you have missed that, please watch that. Here we can add rules. Based on the rules, it will streamline to your team's process by limiting them when your team can use transitions automatically to perform any actions. And these actions are limited to these category which we will have. Even we can verify or validate any fields which is present during our workflow or into the transitions. Along with that, we also perform some actions like assigning the ticket if it moves from one state to the other, as well as in transitions or in rules, you can also trigger some automations as well, which you can try it out. Second is triggers. Here, it triggers automatically some transactions item when our team performs some actions. So we have to create some conditions. Based on the conditions, the triggers will start and it acts accordingly, whatever fields you have selected. So these two already covered in the first session itself. Along with that, if you wanted to use any transitions properties, we can define it. And these properties, even you can call it during the APIs as well. Along with that, these property is to put the restrictions on the transitions as well as using for the API calls. So here I'm discarding this. Along with that, we can also create some events like issue created. If we want, we can use it. Issue updated, issue assigned. These events we can call it out during our processing. So Jira has given us the opportunity where you can use these rules to make your uh, project successful. So without any interference, you can use it for your workflow. Now let me update it and you will see this has been saved. At rules point of view, either you can use rules from this or you can use this icon where you can add rules to any of those status. There's other possibilities. Consider you wanted to trigger any properties where, or maybe you wanted to keep some functions, so when there's a transitions, this could perform any options. Here you can add those details or transitions along with these options or solutions. It triggers the rule itself. So if you wanted to perform any of those actions, we have to select any transitions, add the rules. It will work the creation of issues if you have selected. Consider one scenario. Let's assume we are at in progress status. Once it moves into the development, we can create some folders into the Confluence. That automations rule we can set it up. Other example, consider it if it moves into the close status, it should trigger an automations which performs creation of new folder or creation of some documentations. These type of events or actions you will apply to make your automations running. So this is how we can create the workflow and add different rules, triggers, properties, or events which will help you to perform further actions. And this will be done whenever the status, one status is moved to the other status. So if your issue is sitting at in progress and once it moves into in development, you can trigger any automations. Then you have to add those conditions accordingly. Now this is my, you have different options as well, where you can open workflow in all editor and all those showing transitions label. You can see it here. This is the overall creation of the workflow itself. I will close this. Once you'll create this workflow, right, you'll have this workflow available here. It's not yet activated. You can at any point of time you can add it or create a copy of it. So whenever you'll create a copy of it, you will get an options, or you can generate exactly duplicate of these workflows, or you can clone these workflows. To activate this, here we'll have options, edit workflows. You'll see update. Let me go to the discard changes. Now once your workflow is created, you can move into the workflow scheme. Here you'll have add workflow schemes, where you can create a workflow scheme, or just go to this. If you wanted to associate with the workflow scheme, you can just add a search here. Maybe let me go to the screen first. Sorry. What was my name of the workflow? Create workflow demo. You can see exactly same workflow which we have created. I'll click on next. I wanted to associate with, what was the project name? Let me see. CS Software Simplified. Okay. I wanted to associate with the defect and then we'll click on finish. Okay, that's fine. Even post assigning, you can even add it for the other uh, issue types or work items. As of now, we are good. So let me go to the this project. I'll open a new tab. See, this is my project. So bug. Let me create one sample bug. It's the same thing. CA software simplified workflow scheme. Okay, I think I have not activated. It's still draft. We have not published it. Now we can associate with this. It will take couple of seconds and post publishing we will see those workflow generated. Knowledge. Let me refresh this page. See, these all the transitions, and when you'll open the view workflow, you'll see exactly same workflow is generated, or you will see exactly same workflow which we have created. So this is how we can create and associate any workflow with the issues which you will prefer. It's not only related with the defects, you can even select any of your issue types or work item. Do you have any questions so far?
Yeah, Deepak, Ankur here.
Hangar.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for explaining in detail. So my question is that, as you are asking, right? So how many layers ideally to keep in a workflow, right? Or it depends totally on the project to project. The count may increase as well. And second one is that people even use the subtask, right? Mostly there's a pattern of using subtask, and they mix it up. So in their workflow, they might have three or four status, but in subtask format, they have a lot of complexity involved, right? They create a multiple subtask, and then there's a mix up, right? They don't update their subtask, and they're not able to match the Jira status with the subtask. So can you tell what can be an ideal approach for this particular instance?
Yeah. So regarding your first questions, right? The status or stages, it's totally depending on the project to project. We cannot assume it, but see, if we have any states which is solving the purpose of the other state which any organizations or company is preferring, maybe we can club it both together. But if consider one examples like QA and UAT, this cannot be clubbed together. But in terms of states, like if you have sometimes company are keeping the intermediate states like QA in progress to QA done or QA completed, those type of it. So maybe we can minimize those steps by just adding QA stage or UAT stage. Coming back to the second questions which you mentioned, like subtask complexity, again this can be minimized totally depending on the scenario itself. So it varies from projects or organizations. Hope that answers.
Yep, yep.
Okay, thank you. Now we have seen about the workflows and associations of those workflow into defect, but we have not touched base about the workflow schemes, right? Which I was opening during the associations. So let's try to understand the workflow schemes as well. So different types of work go through different processes. Jira enables teams to more accurately captures their workflows by associating different workflows with them. Here in the same examples, if you can see here in the software simplified workflow for the project CA, there's a different workflow is running. I tried to attach a workflow for my bug, which we can do it for the other work item as well, where we can attach different workflow for the subtask or user story or maybe epic. So it varies totally depending on how we wanted to keep those structures. So every project requires at least one workflow schemes, and the workflow schemes can be applied to a multiple project itself. So considering couple of use cases, let me give you some examples like for the development team in one organizations, and the development team uses a Jira project to manage this entire work, right? So for the bug work types, a bug work item, it refers to the error that needs to be resolved, where we can use the status like triaged, fixed, or sometimes we are also using one status like uh, deferred, right? Which we, our business team, were thinking we can pick it up after the production release, after the one or two release. So they will mark those status as default status. Story work types or story work items, it refers to the feature related work and uses status like design work in progress, design in review, and ready for the development. These status or stages we are using. For the task and subtask work types, we refer to all other types of work in project and uses status like to do, in progress, and done, which varies from the company to company, project to projects, totally depending on the company's requirements. We are keeping that. So over the course of the year, the development team double in size, and engineering managers splits these team into two different category, which is another scenario where second Jira projects, both the teams have similar kind of work. The first project workflow scheme can be associated with the other one as well. So with two teams owning their own projects, they can stay focused on relevant tasks and have the autonomy to manage their own work the way they see. When we have seen about the workflow editor, when we are trying to create a workflow, the editor itself is having rules or permissions. So administrator global permissions to access these functionality, and whenever you want, even you can trigger the automations or create a pre and post functions, right? Where you can do validations. Now this workflow is also related between the workflow and the board. So in Jira workflow, it's very closely related to the board as well. When we'll navigate it to the same project board, like CRM applications, you'll see we have, sorry, as of now, this is a work day, sorry, all work. Maybe I will navigate it to my Kanban board. So in this Kanban board, we have to do, in progress, and done. It relates to the same workflow when we are moving from one stage to the other stage. So workflow refers to the path your work item takes from creations to completions, and each workflow is composed of status and transitions that a work item moves through during its life cycle. So a board is the tool used to visualize the work as it moves through the workflow. As a Jira administrators, we have to make sure that setting up the boards column to match steps in the workflow. For teams with simple workflow, status available to work items in each column also mirror to the steps in the workflow as well. So here, when we are calling as to do in progress and done, these status or these states are even related with the workflow itself. So if you'll go to the settings and you are trying to add the other column, it also demands for uh, status. If it is not mapped, whenever you're trying to move any of those item at the last column, it will not move further. That's the reason it's related with the complex processes, and it's a mirror of the workflow itself. So for teams with more complex processes, the board columns may only represent a subset of steps in the entire workflow itself. It always represents the multiple states to each column. These enables the team to more accurately present between the different workflow for different work types. Okay. Now there are a couple of scenarios where we have to build some complex advanced configurations for the workflows, for the automations rule. When we are using company managed projects, it equipped with the advanced configurations options, so teams can easily map and streamline even the most complex workflows. For examples, you can create conditions to control whether transitions should be executed by user in your instance. So when we are creating the workflow over there, we had options of trigger as well as executing the events, which can be similar capabilities exist on the automations rule as a part of automations for the Jira. However, some key differences exist, like advanced workflow configurations are only associated with each project by workflow schemes, where automations rule can be applied to a variety of features. Second could be advanced workflow configurations can be a bit more challenging to execute but are easier to manage at scale. And third will be can be less of a strain on hosting resources, as the automations rule available per project vary between additions. Okay. Now next is, so this was the old editor. When we are trying to build the workflow, it always open into this wizard. But now, because of the UI change or UI shift, Atlassian has upgraded others. So you might have this interface where you can see diagram view, text view, and even we can export these workflow in XML file. So here, whenever you're opening this into the old editor, you'll also have options to switch into the new editor. Might be if it is not, when we are using the data center versions, you might have the older versions, probably you'll not see the new screen. But in cloud version, you'll have both the options, like switching to the old editor or new editor. So those who are using from edges the old editor, they are comfortable using the old editor itself. They might switch it to the old editor rather than building this entire workflow into the new one. So you can see even the notifications. So we can use old editor till early 26. After that, everything will be moved into the new editor itself. And when you will export this XML file, even we can upload it into the uh, these workflow into the Jira instance itself. Okay, next will be no, I think this is done permission scheme. I could see. Okay. Now, as a part of our second topic, as permissions and their schemes in administration board, because last week I believe a couple of things are covered by the Avneet and Piyush. So here I will just try to touch base about the Jira permissions and their schemes. So as a user, if any individuals who can log into your Jira instance, or we can log into our accounts towards our Jira license, a group refers to the collections of the user. As a individual users, we can have some permissions, and some of the permissions we can set it up. Some permissions are by default added by the Jira or Atlassian. Along with that, we can also set some permissions. So here, if you can see as a Jira administrator, what all permissions they have. So these are the different permission schemes they have. As a group, you can see Confluence admins, then the Confluence as a guest, Confluence user. So in this instance, we will have these category associated. But if you want, even we can create a group permissions. Whenever you'll create a group permissions, make sure as a part of best practices, whatever permissions you're adding to the group, and when you're trying to add number of users within the group, make sure that users should be should have the desired permissions to do any editing. And basically, these permissions are setting the control what users can see and can do within the Jira. They might disrupt the environment as well. That's the reason make sure to use or provide the permissions what is required for them. So example, some permissions dictate whether users can create a new projects and whether user can see a specific type of comments or an issues. So if they are just viewer, they don't, or they are just junior rules which is onboarded into the system, they might not need the deletion permissions, they might not need the creation of project permissions. So those permissions we can restrict for those set of users. And the permission schemes refers to the varying combination of permissions granted to the groups or to the individuals. So project roles and users on a project basis. In many organizations, multiple projects have same needs regarding access right, and only specified project team may be authorized to assign and work on issues, or even they don't have the deletion permissions. So here, when we are creating a group and assigning the set of users, we can assign those permissions only which is needed for them to do the actions. Along with that, when we will move to the global permissions, you will see these are the global permissions are available. Anything which is not needed, we can delete it from here. or you can even check those user permissions. What is for sharing dashboards and filter, you'll have these permissions options available. If you want, even we can create a or grant a new permissions or add it a new permission schemes which you will prefer to be included within your Jira instance. And this is majorly provided by the global permissions, which refers to what users can do system wide, such as whether user can see the others users in the applications, and these apply to the applications as a whole, not to the individual projects. uh, Taking example, if we are working with the Cognizance or IBM, and you are as a Jira admin, might be you are admin for India region, and your team members who is working for US or UK, they might have the permissions to manage the entire instance of US and UK. So both as a user 1 and user 2 are not having the same permissions, where entire India team is coming under user 1 and users 2 is having permissions to manage US and UK region. So they both these set of users are having different permissions which is applied to entire region itself. So user 1, if he is changing anything which will impact to the entire region itself, I mean entire India region. If user 2 is making any changes like updating the workflow, or they are trying to create some permission scheme which is just impacting to the entire regions, make sure when we are applying to the entire regions, that should work to the all users, or you might get explanations to fix the access permissions. So these apply to the applications as a whole, not to the individual projects. And global permissions are granted to a group of users and can be set by user with the Jira system administrator, as I mentioned, user 1 and user 2. Now, what next? Okay, let's take one example here. From the Jira system administrator, when we are having permissions to perform all Jira administration functions, we can have the this role, administrator Jira, which performs most Jira administration functions. When we are talking about the browse users and groups, so this consists of, or this users consist of permissions to view a list of all Jira users, names and group names, which can be used for selecting users and groups in pop-up screen, which enabling auto completion of username, and in most user picker menus and pop-up groups. We can even in the browser browse users and group. Sometimes companies are not giving the permissions to do the bulk operations, so modifying data or modifying work items in bulk is not possible, like bulk edit, bulk move, bulk workflow transitions, or bulk delete. These operations normally administrator keep it with themselves, or sometimes based on the requests of the project manager or product owner, they provide these permissions schemes, or sorry, these permissions or bulk update permissions to the superior user. And you can always make a note like people who have the Jira system administration permissions can perform all the administration functions in Jira, while people who have only the administrators permissions cannot perform functions which could affect the application environment or network. So if I'm the administrator and I'm working in Cognizant, and Cognizant is having a instances available for the entire India regions, might be those administrator will not have the permissions to manage entire environment itself, which can be handled by the super admin. Some type of characterizations we can do. Talking about the project permissions, so this refers to what users can do within the projects, and that could be applicable only to the project label. Taking an example of project label like this, consider I'm in this project and we are working in Kanban board. I wanted to do the board settings where I wanted to keep the working days on and off, where this could be applicable only to the project label. Maybe Avid demo this projects we are using it for Gulf regions. So in Gulf regions, generally we have the off or week off on Thursday and Friday, where they are working on Saturday and Sunday, or maybe they are working on Thursday and they will have the weekly off on Friday and Saturday. Sunday is working for them, and they are setting the time zone of Gulf regions, which is applicable to this project itself. It is not applied to the entire environment. This is a project label setting which we are doing, which is not impacting to the entire environment. So these are some of the examples. Any questions from anyone? Okay. Okay. Okay, considering no questions so far. Uh, Now, because we are talking about the permission scheme, one last concept I wanted to share with you related to the project rules. So here, when we are talking about the project rules, it's flexible way to associate the user itself and group of users that particular functions and projects we are using. So it's similar to the concept of group, with the main difference being that group membership is global, whereas project role membership is project specific. Additionally, group memberships can only be altered by Jira administrator, whereas project role memberships can be altered by the project administrator or scrum master or project owners, those who are having the rights to update it. And Jira administrator can create, edit, or delete project rules according to the organization's need. It doesn't mean that project manager or scrum master who has created those type of project rules cannot be modified by the administrator. Administrator is having super admin rules, where project administrator or scrum masters, they will have only dedicated to the project permissions, which can be altered, modified, or deleted by administrator at any point of time. Sometimes administrators are doing this type of activity because of the cleanups to making their instance clean, and users are assigned into the project roles, and these roles are used in the permission scheme to assign the users, can be leveraged by the several projects to administrator their permissions. Let's take one examples here. uh, Consider or organizations require software development issues where quality assurance person, before closing, they have to confirm with the before closing any defect, they have to confirm with their respective leads, or maybe uh, project SMEs. So to create the permission scheme for the development, assigning the closed issues permissions to the quality assurance project rules, meaning someone on the QA team has to inspect the issues and ready for the deployment to the productions. So till the time it will be not approved by the leaders, it will not move into the deployment mode. So this is one of the examples, and the permissions can be provided by the administrator or the project administrator. I mean, so either instance administrator or project administrator. So that's all from my side for today. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to take it. Any questions? I believe most of the question is answered by the Piyush. If anything left, I will be happy to take it. Okay, no. Then if you have posted anything on social media, feel free to add in the chat. I will try to get your email ID so that I can share the gift voucher with you. If anyone has posted about this event, make sure to share with me either on LinkedIn or here. We'll be happy to share the gift voucher with you. Okay. Yes. If you are working as a champions, thank you, Mayank. Thank you, everyone. So, Chakraborty, if you are using Champions Atlassian, this instance is free of cost. If you wanted to just try it out, these instance, so you can create with your email ID. If you're not in the part of champion list, then definitely Sandbox is not used for you. But you can create the cloud account for free of cost, where you can raise the request. Sorry, you can create the account by using your email ID and password, and it will be absolutely free of cost except some of the features which is not included, like advanced roadmap or plans or premium account. But you will get most of the stuffs. Even the instance which I presented today is also a free version only.
Yeah, I remember.
Can you
Sorry, you called in my name.
yeah, I just called because of the instance you covered something, right, in last sessions. That's what. I did not mention anything else. Thank you.
Uh,
So, anyone got any more questions? Technical, non-technical, anything?
can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can.
Hello. Yeah. How do we become a Jira champion and avail these features? Sorry, I missed all your three
Yeah.
sessions, but
Hey, no
I
issues.
just was curious.
So regarding the championship program, actually this is verified based on your contributions or what you are uh, giving back to the community, right? So which is a long process where you have to register from the Atlassian portal, showcase what you are trying to achieve with these type of nominations, and based on the validations they will dedicate you or allocate you championship uh, or champions add you into the champion category. But I can see from your questions you are looking for some instance, right, where you can do practice and all. So cloud version
Yes,
is absolutely free of cost till 10 users, where you will get most of features enabled.
features.
Yeah, which you can use it for the learning and practicing. Couple of features are not available there, which is like advanced roadmap and some other features as a part
Mhm.
of Atlassian. But free version will have most of the stuffs. If you
Okay,
wanted to pay for it, then 1 month is more than enough, where you can add additional features for your practice and all.
understood.
So, I have an example, right? What you can do is you can go to the instance. Okay, you can go to the cloud, request for an instance. Okay, once you are done, once just you got your instance, you can convert it as a trial for 14 days, right? For a premium. Once you're done, you go back to the free version. After 4 5 days, you can again request for the premium version for again 14 days. So max two times you can do that. So it's around 28 days. You can get a free. free. You can get a version for premium for free to try.
Yeah, I've tried that several times. So
Okay, it means you have exhausted that limit as well.
yes.
But those who are champions, right? Atlassian is giving a sandbox opportunity as well, where anyone who is a part of champion list, they can get
Mhm.
this license free of cost on
Yeah,
sandbox environment. Yeah.
but again, those things vary for 3 months. Okay, and but again, if you want, Dinaka, you said right, so you can connect with your company. If it is an enterprise, you get 10 sandbox instance for free. You can ask them to give one to you.
Yeah, we've been trying it quite hard, but our association with Atlassian is that a product level, so we cannot partner with them for some reason.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any other questions from anyone? Okay. Considering silence as no. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining this. We have other sessions planned. Make sure to visit on our page where we have two more sessions. Sorry, three more sessions upcoming, where we'll try to cover about Rovo as well as API calls, along with some examples. So I will just share in chat about Mumbai page where you'll see which all sessions planned for related to Jira administration series. So here I pasted in the chat where you will get the, and regarding the previous sessions, you will see the recording on page itself. So after 24 hours, we are uploading these recording on the page itself where you'll have the recording available on previous page. So go to the Mumbai chapter or whichever registrations you have did it right. Click on the links and you'll have recording available on the page. Okay. Okay. Now we are good to close for today. We'll see you on next Tuesday, which is on 16. Thank you all. Have a good day ahead. Thank you, Piyush.